Floor plans. I have a couple. There's a floor plan I made. It's not going to see the points. Again, usually load a lot quicker. This is just a quick piping diagram of this. This is a small rack for a fairly small store, but it's looking for values that are not connected, because this is supposed to be right on a. All these would be populated. So in this case, for this customer, they want a custom floor plan, and yeah, we made it for them. It's not something that you can configure in the E3 or anything like that. It's not UltraSite. It's yeah, we created it for them, and then it's a zip file, and then it's the JSON and guts that are in it is what pretty much puts this together.
So can you make a floor plan and then put it in there, or like is that something you have to pay Emerson to do?
You can, if you have a zip file already that's loaded into the E3. If you're very crafty with Chrome, you can. No, sorry, I take that back. You can't. You have to load it in as a zip file. The zip file would have the various folders in it, being some PNG files or GIF files, and then the code that goes along with it. I don't think I have. Let me see if I have my USB stick plugged into this. I don't. Yeah, so you can have kind of like some animated stuff on the screen as well. Like in this case, they want it relatively simple. Quick floor plan for what they have. It's again, this isn't going to load just because it's looking for points that are not connected, but just to give you an idea. Bunker. So like in this case, it just shows the status of these that represent these icons on the right-hand side. And then you can navigate with the touchscreen and away you go. So being down the road, we have a case controller E3 job very shortly. We're going to have it so as you load up the case, it's going to show the actual case where it is in the store, and kind of have more visuals, because that seems to be something a lot of end users want. They want more visuals for the service mechanics to potentially make the service call more efficient or make it easier for them. But like in this case, I took the floor plan, the construction drawing, and I dropped some cases on it, and that's exactly what it actually looks like. But yeah, in a nutshell, that's basic E3 configuration.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, the layout's a lot better than the E2. I mean, it flows a lot better. It's different, but it's not different.
Yeah, like it's quite nice that all the existing terminology is still in place, and navigating it, you can pretty much get anywhere in like 3 clicks. If you are in a retrofitting situation from an E2 going to an E3, the plastic housing of the E3 is the exact same footprint.
Oh, see, that's awesome.
Yeah, same transformer, same footprint, use the same mounting screws. It fits perfectly.
What about the crossover between the E2 program and the E3? Does it automatically convert itself, or
going from an E2 to an E3, the last time I did it, it converts like 95%. UltraSite, we have a bolt-in where UltraSite can convert 95% of an E2 set point file. The manual portion, from what I recall, is if you have associations with electronic EPRs, you have to add those associations to it, but the rest is automatic.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
It's quite handy, especially for, again, like the big stores, and you have an RX 400 that's relatively busy. It's a bit of a doozy to convert it.
What version UltraSite do you have that plugin to update it to the E3?
Whatever the latest one is.
Yeah, I don't have that one because I'm always, I don't know, I'm like, it's like a new car. Whenever a new firmware version, comes out, I'm just like, let's just let it melt for a little bit and see what happens.
Oh, I've been burned
Oh,
many times. I wait.
It's like buying a brand new car. You don't ever buy a brand new car when it gets off, when it just gets out of production. You're like, yeah, let's let the first couple just roll through till they get all the bugs out.
yeah, it's. I want to say 4.84. Yeah, I might be a little off. That one rings a bell.
Plus,
Yeah,
Ultrasight's as old as me.
probably older. Yeah, it's firmware on the site supervisor and the E3. Firmware updates you can get off the Emerson US website. They're free downloads. You don't have to pay for them. They're not 18-hour firmware upgrades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just did a store. It took 4 hours to do like 3 of them.
Yeah.
Well, at least the one you were at, did it cross over every single time?
No,
like you didn't lose points?
No, I didn't lose any point. I'm not doing like E2 to E3s. I'm just saying like doing like they were E2 firmware updates.
Oh yeah, where you have. Oh yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it's just some of those are slow. How quick are they on the E3? Are they pretty quick?
To do a firmware update?
Yeah.
Oh, it's 20 seconds.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you just pop it. You can do it if you're connected with on a PC. If you have the file on your PC, you can choose through the E3 where you're getting the file. I'm getting it. You can send it. Send it from the PC to the E3, or if you have it on a USB stick, USB slots right in there. Just load it
So
up through there.
we still have the USB backup function on there as like the E2 does. So
there's 2 of them on there though. Is there any difference between that?
Not that I know of, but yeah,
Okay.
there's 2 slots. Yeah, in the E3, the PID board will look very familiar to what everyone's accustomed to. The E2, yeah, it's everything's on the door portion of it, right? But yeah, it's I'm pretty excited about it. Backnet IP is my favorite part about it. Yeah, it's you can have more visuals on it, emails, yes, more stuff's built into it, and it's a lot of it's they're putting in a good amount of development, which is super exciting.
Well, it sounds like they're making changes to it all the time.
Yeah, like I forget when 2.24 came out publicly. I think it was maybe like 2 weeks ago. 2.23, I think it was like 3 months ago. Yeah, the last 2.23 is when MQTT feature came out. MQTT is a way of pushing data out. Otherwise, like in an E2, if you're very programming savvy, you would do it through SOAP APIs. The E3 can also do it through REST APIs.
Is that when you would basically like create almost like a description file for something? Is that what I'm attuning this to?
Let's say if you have a sort of analytic dashboard made by a third party, if they have the licensing to go along with it, they can pull data out of the E2 or the E3 and do whatever they want with it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the whole new like trend thing. Like Emerson has their version of it. Like
Yep.
Cadler exists. Like I mean, you name it. There's all these analytic dashboards that are doing alarming and like data functions and
Yeah, this summer starting to dabble into like predicting alarms or AI.
there's
Yeah,
actually like a decent amount of that out there already. It's kind of interesting.
yes, some of it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's it's interesting to see where it'll go.
Yeah, I've got to see some of the Cadler stuff. It's super interesting. Like it's what they're doing with that.
Yeah, I think I saw them at some sort of trade show. I think in the fall. But yeah, it's interesting what they're doing. It's I saw one that was from California. Oh, geez, I always forget what they're called. Starts with them. That's it.
Axiom
Yeah,
Cloud.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's
this pretty cool stuff.
there's a company I got out of Baltimore too. They do a lot of Danfoss. They do a lot of Emerson too. Gosh, forget the name.
Oh, Sing?
Maybe Sing.
Yeah, I think he does some stuff too. It's pretty cool stuff what they're doing with it.
Yep.
Yeah, other ways you can update firmware. It's if you have Connect Plus, like let's say if you have enterprise or lots of sites, Connect Plus can push the firmware to your E2s or E3s, so you don't have to worry about it.
So what about the alarming and like, because I was doing a little bit of reading on this. So like, I know the big thing with the E2 and like UltraSite is it never really had the email and SMS functionality. Like you could do it, but it was a nightmare in UltraSite. I mean, you had to do a lot of workarounds with it. Like, is the E3 capable of doing like the SMS text messaging and emailing alarms?
Yep, yeah, it's you require an email account to configure onto the E3, so because you need to be able to have the email guts to be able to push out the alarm. So you configure that, configure your port, being if it's was it IMAP or POP3, configure that, and you can just do a test. It's pretty easy to do. Usually the headache for setting up email alarms is the email software portion of it. Like let's say if you do it through Google, you have to do like email Google securities, allow third party. That's usually where the headache is. But if the customer has a relatively savvy IT department, you won't have any problems. It's quite nice. And you
What
can
about the text messaging?
same idea. Yeah, you can do text messaging out, um, depending on whoever the provider is. But yeah, it's like how do we do it? I think it's like the phone number at the provider. So like let's say Canada Bell would be like phone number 123456789 at bell.ca, and that's going to be the SMS out. So it comes in handy. Email alarms I find are the more popular of the two. It's just IT departments seem to be more comfortable with it.
No, I mean that's killer, especially for like small chains without like alarm monitoring. Like that right there would be like absolute killer.
Well, exactly. So like let's say Ma and Pa grocery store have an E3 and they have it set up on I don't know, let's just say a static IP address or something like or VPN that they have access to. They receive the alarm on their phone, email, and if they're relatively crafty enough on their phone, Chrome or Safari, whatever it is, connect to the IP address, and then you have the mobile interface on your phone. So it's
Yeah, that's nice just for text to be able to like get into it.
yeah, and you don't no need for TeamViewer or stationary PC on site that you connect to that PC. Then you take UltraSite to connect to the E2. It's if you have an IP address on the E3, just have at her.
Would that still work for companies that have their stuff really locked down?
I'd say if
Like
they
if
would
they had
give you
they had a
VPN
VPN?
permissions,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
because you can do like routing and stuff. But
okay.
yeah, it's for the companies that have it locked down. It's yeah, they make the shots on that, but yeah, it's my experience. The ones that have been locked down, like there's still usual VPN, sequences to follow, and then connect to a certain VPN, and yeah, it's still doable.
Cool.
Yeah.
Kevin, you have any more questions for Ron since we got him on now?
Oh, the one thing I was going to ask you. So if this is hooked up to like the Enterprise, the Emerson Enterprise, like the Connect Plus.
Mhm.
So if it's hooked to Connect Plus, can you get into it like off of? Man, I'm having like a mental breakdown here.
Like connect to it, not through Connect Plus.
Or can you connect to it to Connect Plus like you would the E2? Like get on
Yep.
terminal mode.
Yes, yes, you can.
So is that'd be your way to tunnel in basically without a VPN? Like you if you had Connect Plus access, you
Yeah, because like if you would have a customer that their IT is pretty strict, usually doing it with Connect Plus, the mutual IT departments would get that part sorted out, and then that would be the way to get in through their secure channels. But yeah, same with if you're on UltraSite and you like a newer version of UltraSite, you can have an E3 configured under the tree. Terminal mode just opens the browser, and then it connects to the IP address.
really
I've also tested where if you have, let's say, an E3 as an alarm and actuator, and you have an E2, you can see E2 terminal mode on the E3.
You'll
So
see
you
that
can
someone's logged in. Sorry.
Yep.
can you see like the physical E2 on the E3 though? Like if you're on like say you're at the station E3, you can get on the E2.
Yeah, it's like UltraSite terminal mode.
Really?
Yep.
Is it laggy or is it like is it just terminal mode? Like because terminal mode's always been kind of
Yeah, it's terminal mode. It's yeah, like I just had it on E2. Do I have my E2? I don't have an E2 to test it right now, but yeah, like I just kind of had it kicking around on my desk behind me, and that's how I tested it out. And it's just like, well, at the time I wasn't aware that you can do that, but it yeah has its handiness.
So the other question is, yes, can you get like say you have five E3s in a store and like can you be on like rack 5 and look at rack 1 on rack 5?
Yeah. So if you have your primary one like set up, let's say as the annunciator, on the tile screen that we were looking at earlier, where we had the blue refrigeration bar and all that stuff, at the top middle there'll be tabs: rack A, rack B, rack C, rack D, rack E. Pick your tab, and then it's going to load all the tiles for those E3s.
Really, that's nice.
It, it is. It's quite nice. Yeah, it's yeah, it's pretty solid. It's I'm quite happy with it, and the feedback I get from contractors, OEMs, and users, it's been very positive. It's been quite nice. Like the screen is yeah, it's a piece of glass. I remember back in the one Facebook group, somebody asked or made a comment, "Oh, my oily fingers is going to wreck it." No, it's like sodium, or I forgot what it is, like soda baked sodium glass or something like that, and you can get oil on it, spray it with Windex. It's not porous where the oil is going to go through it. It can withstand dirty hands. Just if you do get it dirty, just give it a wipe and you're good.
No, nobody cleans up their mess.
Mm. Yeah, good point.
As long as we don't use contact cleaner.
Acetone.
That'll clean it right up. Clean that oil right off. Well, man, I don't want to keep you all night, man. We've been on a while. I would definitely like to bring you back on to go through some CO2 stuff, like maybe programming the simple CO2 booster rack or something.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do that. Also, whenever I get my my lab equipment going, yeah, we can do a show on that where kind of do like a walkthrough on it if you want. Because yeah, my intention is like I'll have this equipment up and running and remote into it. So, being if we want to kind of do some live tinkering on a machine, we can do that.
Well, you got the machine at the Ontario office already.
Yeah, it'll be up and running. The plan is by September.
Okay.
So come then, when we do have it up and going, I got no problem. We'll have we can do another show on it and do like a walkthrough on it, and then I can kind of connect to the rack, and then we can, same idea, do a screen share. And beauty of it is we can just tinker as we please. We don't have to worry about food going in the dumpster.
Kevin, get your passport ready. We're going to Ontario.
They're more than welcome to come out.
You have a CO2 trainer. Why don't we use that one?
No, we can use that one.
Good. I think your California one has an E3 on it, I think.
Yeah, they were saying.
Yeah, it's when is that? Is that next week? California thing?
Yeah. And yeah, Danfoss says they're big red there.
Big red. Yeah, I've never seen it in the pictures. I don't know much about the what do they have, what do they have for compressors on it?
I don't know. I've been trying to figure that out for like 3 days.
It's like Dorans.
That's what because the one guy was like, "Oh, they're probably Danfoss. Their bits are compressors." I'm like, the heads don't look like.
No, they look like Dorans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're more the suction's more roundy in the back.
Yeah, it's probably I don't know if it's Doran or Doreen. I hear both.